Hello, friends. Salam, namaste. This is your friend and host, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon from which country, from which region. Hope you are doing great, wonderful, and enjoying your life. Today, I am going to talk on suicide and what are the dangers and warning signs of suicide in the teenage. For this, to talk on this very sensitive and need of our staff on this topic, we have a wonderful personality named as Kurt Kruger. He is a spiritual guru from the USA. More, I love him because he is a wonderful human being. Let's welcome him. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Namaste or salam. I welcome everybody with great respect and love. And the sad thing is that people too often these days don't feel that respect. They don't feel that love. And this is one of the things that causes people to commit suicide because they either lack the communication with the people, like lockdown keeps you isolated, and that's a sign if you're in home and the child stays in their room too much and they just sit there maybe on their little computer or whatever it might be, uh, and they don't come out much and they just go back into their room, that's a sign of depression, a sign that a person might be having a trouble. Things that cause suicide is also bullying, like when people are in school, or they're calling you a fool or whatever they might say, or there's horrible things that happen when kids are young because we never ever teach character development in schools. We will do all kinds of other things in schools, reading, writing, arithmetic, but how to interchange with this beautiful young lady who just got onto our call. I mean, my goodness, we have to welcome her with great respect and love. And then her smile doesn't stop. It's just broadens even more when she allows it to happen. So I welcome you also with great respect and love.
Thank you so much, respected spiritual guru, Sir Kurt Kruger, that you shared a wonderful point regarding this. I must say you shared a valuable point. You added a valuable information regarding this very sensitive topic, which is actually a need of ours. And according to WHO, the most commonest age for suicide that is from 15 or 16 to 32 years age. Actually, this range of age is most prone and more vulnerable to the suicide, to attempt suicide. Who are at risk for suicide? Someone who are saying are writing about the suicide, someone who are reading about the suicide, someone who is a drug addictor, who is a substance user, chronic substance user, someone who is a chronic alcohol user. They are more prone for the suicide. Someone who had a bad childhood experiences, they see there is a fighting between their parents, they saw conflict between their parents, they found difficulties, they spend their life in very much poverty, and they suffer, they struggles for even for a little thing, for small things. And the people who have a history of child abuse or sex abuse, so are more prone, in near future they are more prone to cause attempt for suicide. Someone who's the have a mental illness like depression and other symptoms like anxiety, severe anxiety, panic disorder, or someone who are in a schizophrenic, they are more vulnerable and more prone in later stage of life they may attempt for suicide. Someone who have a borderline personality, they are more vulnerable for the suicide. Already taken too much time, and I think our guest may talk more and wonderful on this wonderful topic. Before this, we have joined a queen of waves of kindness, Jasmine Chamali. Welcome, Jasmine, to our show. I know she cannot talk, but I'm very much thankful that she can join us and show her valuable presence to us. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for joining us. Now I request my respected Guru, the spiritual Guru, the wonderful human being whom I love too much. I request him that Gurudev, what are the warning signs? What are the danger signs for a teenager
Well,
who aim for suicide?
sometimes eating habits can change. If the eating habit is changed, then that might be a trigger for you to be able to say what's happening. The most important thing is actually talking with a person. Like just yesterday, Michael Phelps, this man who won the more gold medals in the Olympics than any other person in history, this great swimmer from America came on and he was interviewed for like about a half an hour about his issue and his foundation that he started to deal with depression and suicide ideas in athletes and others. Because even this super famous person has a lot of stress, and stress can cause suicidal actions also. Over drinking and drug use, like you said, is another cause because it distracts you from solving the issue. It deadens a person and before they're dead. And that is the super sad thing. So if you see people not speaking very much when they used to be a person who can't be quiet, uh, then what happens? You know there's some other sign. Whatever change of a normality in a person can offer you a chance to say, what's happening? I feel, the lack of connection with you for some reason. What, can we talk about something, or let's go have a cup of chai? And because that famous book that's called Three Cups of Tea was about how in South Asia, that's how you judge how that a person is actually a friend. It's if you've had 3 cups of tea with them, you've gotten a relationship with them. And the relationship is the connection with the heart of the other. It's not a mental relationship. Yes, you might like the person for certain reasons, whether it's business reason or intelligence, or that they have such they actually can laugh and make you laugh easily or what. One of the things that can help a person get out of depression is simple things like watching cartoons or watching uh, comics, or like in the old days where they didn't even have sound. Charlie Chaplin was a wizard at making people laugh. Same thing with Buster Keaton. Uh, but modern people, I mean, one of my favorites is George Carlin. This guy will make people laugh about all kinds of things and all throughout society. And without looking at those things, if people are looking at depressive movies or violent movies, especially violent movies, and some people don't know what to do in these situations to be able to change. The best thing to do is call a friend. And if you're really down and out and you don't, quote, have any friends because you've been shunned, you've been put aside, nobody likes you, or you think nobody likes you, yet so many people may like you and you just don't know it, then we get to be able to approach calling a special number for suicides. And if you don't have a number in your country, you can always find, maybe it's you phone your imam, or you phone a priest, or you phone a monk or whatever. Phone a guru if you have a guru. This is important. The communication has to happen. And it's interesting, just the other day, I was talking with somebody who was also talking about suicide. And you come up with this topic today, and you invite me to this topic. And yet, just yesterday, this came up in my life. So, uh, in prevention, there's something called trauma tapping, because traumas can cause people to want to commit suicide. And it could be psychological trauma or it could be physical trauma. Imagine I have a friend from Sweden. He's gone into villages in the Congo where children have had to kill their friends and become soldiers. They've had to kill their friends and be a soldier. And they are super traumatized. He's gone into Uganda where they had the genocide with the people who survived it. And he's been able to release their trauma through something called trauma tapping technique. If anybody wants to communicate with me through successsystemsinternational.net and you ask about the trauma tapping technique, I will send you a PDF. Ulf Sandstrom says I can send it to anybody who needs it because he is that kind of a hearty man. I gave him a technique that's in my book. The technique that he now works with in similar kinds of things is something called switching. It changes negative habits into positive habits. And it's a psychosomatic spiritual practice. So it's body, mind, and spirit practice to change those habits. So, and I think
That's
that Jasmine had put some notes to you. Did you read them? Sanjay, did you read her notes? She said something about peer pressure and let's see, and drug use. Yeah, that was already mentioned. Yes. Thank you, Jasmine. I can't, depression. Listen, I need to actually go, Sanjay. So I'd love to be on another time, but it looks like you have two beautiful women to take over and fill my place easily. I mean, just one of these ladies could fill my place. No problem. But thank you so much for having me. Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
so much. Yes, sir. Please continue.
I'm done.
Thank you so much, the spiritual guru, sir, for sharing a valuable information and also sharing the warning sign of suicide in teenage. Thank you so much for sharing such valuable information. And also, Jasmine, write down a few notes, peer pressure and others about this. Thank you so much. Now we have another wonderful, beautiful lady from the town. Uh, she is none other than very well known, the well known, most courageous, most bravest woman I have ever met online, virtually, or physically. She is also ambassador of Waves of Kindness, and she is amazing life coach. She helps people. She is none other than she is also an upcoming author, the most beautiful Daphne Source. Welcome, ma'am, to this wonderful episode. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm very well. Dr. Sanjay, how are you?
I'm good too. Thank you so much for joining, man.
Most
Now,
welcome.
moving on to such a wonderful topic that is warning sign of suicide in a teenager. Actually, actually need of ours, and it's very sensitive topic, I know, but these days suicide cases are increased day by day. That's why I choose this topic once again to talk more on this. Why
Lovely.
teenagers do more suicide? Because, as we all know, that there are teenager problems. They are unable to cope up with their problems, with their stress. Like they have a fear of failure, they have fear of rejection, fear of problem or stress of the breakup, stress of school, peer pressures, and others. These
Hmm.
are the some highlighted warning sign which I shared. Now I request respected guests, respected guests, the Daphne Sour ma'am, would you please put light on this very sensitive topic?
Lovely. Thank you for the wonderful question, Dr. Sanjay, and a very sensitive and much needed topic. To start with, I think it's like you said, they want their to be loved, wanted, the challenges of life. It all begins with acceptance, right? If you are accepted, if a place is open, the doors are open, you can enter, right? If the doors are closed, you have to push through it. What do I mean by this? It has to start with the home. Parents need to make that time. I know that life is challenging and demanding. We have to earn that money. But for who are you working? For who are you earning? Every parent will say, I'm doing it for my child. But when you don't have time for that child, what is the use of your money or anything? Your child needs you. Those are lame excuses. Work, work, work will carry on. You will lose your child ultimately, but that work will never finish. You need to balance your life. And once you give that acceptance from the young age to a child, they build in confidence. They learn to talk. They learn to share if you build trust. If a child is never heard at home, never trusted, how do you expect them once they turn old to open up and talk to you? Nothing will happen overnight. I won't speak to you if you never built that, rapport with me. We have to build relationships. We can continuously blame society, the world, the media as everyone goes to it. But how much are we really welcoming these youngsters from their early days? How much are we non judgmental? Passing remarks, then comparison with siblings, then teachers with other students, with neighbors. We are always comparing children. So when they come to that time, they just sometimes feel that maybe I'm useless, I'm good for nothing, or even if they experience bullying in school, who are they going to talk to? Can they come and tell mom and dad and cry on their shoulder? Mom and dad has no time. They think that they can buy everything from with money for their kids. Over to you, Dr. Sanjay.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing the beautiful things, and the way you explain it was really amazing. Actually, it is very sensitive topic and needs much needed these days. And the way you shared that family must, parents must make a balanced life. They give equal time to their children to understand them, to talk them, and to know about that what they are going through,
Hmm.
whether they have a school pressure, they have a workload of a school, whether they are facing the bully in the school, and whether they have some other problems. They have difficulty to memorize the thing. They have difficulty to understand the teachers, like just because everyone have their own capability to understand that they are very much pressurized due to schoolwork, they are disturbed, or whatever they are going through. Parents must be a strong communication with their children. There must be a good trust building relationship with between parents and children. There should be no pressure, and there should be no fear to a child while asking or sharing his point with his parents. If a child has a fear, then he never able to share what he is going through. And what we get in the end result, that once he get, when he burst up out of all his uh, stress, he is unable to cope up anymore, and he burst up and resulted in a time of suicide, or I'm sorry to say that he may successful in suicide. And then
Okay.
after that we regret that we had not a good communication with our children. We have not given the time which our children wants from us. That's why I request all the viewers who are watching us and who will watch after this the recorded episode, please make a good relationship between you and your children. Make a strong communication, make a trust building relationship, so that your children do not have a fear while asking something from you, while demanding something from you, while sharing something from you. So
Exactly.
this is my humble request, and now I request once again our respected guest that as you shared valuable points, I want to request you put more lights on this much needed topic. That is the warning sign of suicide in a teenage, as you shared. Now I request that what are the how we prevent this, how we identify this that our child is on risk, our child is on risk of the suicide. Over to you, ma'am.
Lovely. Thank you so much. First of all, as I said, it starts from early days where you build a relationship with your child, that they know that you are there, you will listen, and you'll understand they could speak to you, right? Then it comes to also like the signs that would be there would be withdrawal signs, and you will see a change in behavior and habits. So parents should be aware when they find either child is becoming quieter than normal, not speaking, you don't see the same, the child is outgoing or smiling, the grades are dropping, anything that is not the normal what the child is doing. Okay, if your child is not suddenly stopping going for sports, interacting with friends or anything, these are all warning signs. Now when you get these warning signs, you have to be very careful because this is an extremely sensitive topic. Do not put pressure and become too jumpy, because mostly especially the mothers would go, hi allah main kya karoon, mera bachcha. The whole mohalla knows it, the whole village and city knows it, and then the father's coming and he is like, what's the problem, how dare you do this? If the child is picked up to addiction or he's not talking, he's either called in front by the parents and said, you will answer us, what is the problem, why aren't you studying properly, why aren't you responding to us properly? Guys, do you think honestly anybody is going to speak? Do I want to speak to you guys if you all are going to treat me that way? Although I'm not in this condition, I would say rather please try to understand, sit and make that friendly conversation. Listen to that child. You need to literally hear them continuously what they are saying without that judgmental attitude. Do not pass judgment, do not make any rash decisions, because one thing I will tell you, when these thoughts already come, that means your child is at risk, that he's made the withdrawal. Okay, and this is also a reason of the chemicals in the brain going here and there. And when the chemicals especially of dopamine and serotonin fall less, right, uh, due to that, you have the tendency of suicidal and desire for blood taking your life. Now, if you would rush immediately to psychologist and psychiatrist, also any rash decision can trigger such situations. You have to take a breath, parents, think wise. कुछ भी आप जज्बाती में करें या जल्दबाजी में, कहावा है राइट, जल्दी का काम शैतान का है. The
Yes.
work, it's the quick work is the devil's workshop. So why are you giving your child more to the evil one? Just listen to your child. Let them speak and ponder on it. You have got wisdom. If God has made you a parent, He is going to surely bless you with a lot of wisdom. Pause, think, and then ask. By shouting or reaction, I know many stories where sometimes, like especially boys, they go into smoking. It could be that, first of all, sorry to say, fathers, you all smoke and you all tell your children that it's bad. Yet you are standing there puffing away the smoke, which looks like when Bollywood, Hollywood, and then the Gollywood movies that are there, where oh, it's gone in the air. It looks fantastic. Okay, it looks amazing. When the child does it, you do not like, saying it's bad. Are you setting a proper example to your child not to smoke? Or even not to drink. No, you are doing it, and then you'll either say, "Oh, dad is exhausted, so he must smoke," or the alcohol is medicine. First, you need to be a role example to your child, and then try to understand it is always not wrong parenting, as society will say. The first thing will go, where is the mother? Is the mother dead? माँ नहीं देख सकती है. How much is the mother going to look? How much is the mother going to tell? Not everything that we say and do, good or bad, is only learned from the parents and from the house. It comes from the neighborhood, society, friends, school, everywhere. So try to find out what is the root cause of your child doing that. From where are the supplies coming? But all this needs to be done in a very loving, peaceful way, because I know stories where some years back, I remember I read it in the newspaper, where a father suddenly plucked his child up and said, Why are you smoking? How dare you? You are not going to smoke," and blah, blah, blah. That kid jumped to his death, a 17-year-old. What did you get? Because as parents, we have too much ego issues, that we have to show our authority, that we are the parents, and we will try to discipline and be strict with the kids. And yet you will say that you do not like your child turning to outsiders or in social media speaking to strangers. Make up your mind. Either you risk your child and surrender them to strangers and outsiders, or either you make time for your child. There is zero compromise to anything that you do not have time. If you do not have time, do not bring kids into this world. That's simple. It's a blessing given to you, a responsibility that you have promised on your marriage day. And if you're not married, whether it's in the court marriage or anything, you have vowed that to your soulmate. And that is the fruit of your relationship. So, when it's the fruit of your relationship, please, what love are you giving? What's the use of anything? Sometimes you'll want so your child to study high education. They cannot. They are not doing well at school. What is the use of all these certificates if your child is not there? Let it go to hell. In today's world, we have got a lot of professions and things to do. Gone are the days that you had to become a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. Gone are those days. There are so many professions. Look for your passion. If you like music, what's wrong in music? Even in dancing, what is wrong? It's not only that the prostitutes dance, or at the clubs, cheap women dance. If you use it in the proper way, even dances like ballet or Zumba, what's wrong in it? Point it out, what is wrong in it. You keep your respect, you keep your discipline. It is good. And also, I'll tell you, as per psychology, we should be moving our body. Music does help to calm the heart and the mind. So you as parents, first of all, need to take control of your life. And then, like, when you're flying a plane, what does the air hostess first say? First, put the mask on yourself, and then attend to the minor that is with you. Whereas what we parents do, we jump to save the minor while we are drowning ourselves. So think wise, pause. First, you calm your internal being. Think with wisdom, what are you giving your child and your family? And never ever can money buy everything. Yes, the poor people can talk about it, that money is important, definitely, but money without love is meaningless. So open your hearts and forget it if you have not been doing it in the past. Those with older children, today that you are hearing this message, start today. Look into yourself, look at your child, make the time to walk to the park with your child, just to laugh. Children like their stories. I know sometimes it's boring. We only like little toddlers when they share about their, Cinderella stories, and something maybe of SpongeBob, or some Batman, something like that. Older kids have different games. It's okay. Let them speak. What is wrong about it by you listening? They have to speak to somebody else, right? If you're not going to give them time, then where the heck do you want them to go? We are created to be in company. If God did not want you to be in company, you would have been the only one on earth. Why are there so many human beings? That you may live in company and relationship. That is what we are created for. So build your relationship, bond. Why a marriage is also breaking? Because the children have not seen what love is, what is unity between husband and wife, father and mother. When the children see that, and there is an acceptance and unity in a family, that is what's going to make a beautiful culture, and our future will be amazing. So just open your ears and your eyes. As you can see, you have 2 ears and you have 2 eyes, but you have only one mouth. So please talk less, watch and hear, and then minimum speak. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Sanjay.
Wow, wow. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing valuable points and enlighten my audience and me with your knowledge, with your wisdom, with your light. Thank you so much. The way you explain each and every point regarding their abiding sign of suicide in teenage, as you said that there is a teenage problems, withdrawals, the lack of quality time from the parents to their children, lack of trust building between the children and the trust building relationship between the children and their parent have no time for them listen their children to understand the root cause from their children are suffering, and they are not ready to understand the children, not ready to understand the children perspective. They are not ready that to accept the children. They are not in that mood that their children ask something from them without fears. These are the few pressure that you shared and you added enlighten us, and as well as you also shared that the parents should understand that children, if children came upset from school, then it's responsibility of every parents go and sit with their children, talk with them, and share the thing, uh, whatever his their children like, whether they like for some movie, they go sit with them and watch that movie, and after watching movie start conversation, make a strong communication, and so that your children have a trust, build a trust on you, so he or she easily share from what they are going through. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing a valuable points. And we have Jasmine Shimali. She is continuously posting us, commenting us, and a wonderful comments shared by her. That the first comment was this: yes, you need to listen to the people, make them feel needed and important. That's really amazing, because the less important they feel, the more likely they will feel that they are not needed and their life is useless. Great.
So true. Very true.
Well, and I love your point, Daphne, ma'am. You are very wise.
Thank you. I'm surrounded by wise people like yourself, Dr. Sanjay. Why should I worry?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Uh, you picked a very important pick. She is appreciating for both of us. You picked a very important and serious topic, vital topic to talk about. Great. And we have another guest. I think Mara Khan, what is the guest qualification? Myra Khan, we qualification. She is a psychologist. She is a life coach. She is the most courageous woman, and I think she is the top 10 women coach awarded in 2020, and more than she is a upcoming writer of two book, and she is helping many people in their life through his life coaching skills, as well as she is the most beautiful person I have ever met, and she is always encouraging, always motivating, and I love her public quality skills. She always came on a show, and where she explained on any topic, that's real. That's amazing. She always talk wonderful things. Oh, so thank you so much, ma'am, Daphne, for joining us.
Thank you
And
so
she
much.
asked another question that what are the title of our books? So now I go to the ma'am Daphne. She gave the answer of our book.
Yes, sure. One is Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. You want to write that down, Dr. Sanjay?
Yes,
Lovely. And the other is The Entrepreneurs.
entrepreneurs. Two
Yeah, so these are the
wonderful.
two books. And also, I'd like you all to join on my Carousel Moms. That's my business of business and leadership coaching. So if you join on my page, there's a lot of events. I'm doing something for women, which will be a very good training from the 8th of August till the 11th of August. So it's online, and you could learn from other strong women a lot of things. Okay, so I invite you all to join. Also, I'm going to be writing my ebook, which today I'll be putting on online on the title of my ebook. So if you're interested, according to that, I would be sending it to everyone. So stay tuned and inspire me. The more you inspire me, I'll come up with the topics that you guys need, because I come with a heart of serving, and I want to lift everyone up. And as my main niche is, business and leadership and serving mothers in particular, I know what women go through with children, and I think Dr. Sanjay has picked up a very hot topic, because mothers are facing these issues, especially suicidal, and they do not know what to do. And in many foreign countries, it is, a legal issue where you get the law involved, and this then control drugs and everything. But I tell you, if you handle your child well from day one, give them time, let them speak and everything, I tell you, all those levels that I spoke about, the serotonin and the dopamine going down and everything, could be plucked up. Also, one more thing, Dr. Sanjeev, if I have your permission just to add to this, is that okay with you? Thank you.
yes,
Uh,
ma'am. Please.
like to add this, that as I've said, first of all, give time to your children, talk, interact, listen to them. Right now, what I do suggest also is that, see, how the world is created, right? You know what is day and night, what is going out in the fresh air, the greenery, being indoors, everything. Now, we should try not to cross. Yes, we've got electricity around, and we got the internet, which was not at the time of creation of this world. But the body is made according to the way the world was created. Night is for sleeping, day is for doing your work. You need to go out in the fresh air. You must interact with greenery, walk bare feet. I would say it's totally okay, and it's essential to walk bare feet and be connected with Mother Earth. I know normally when children do not wear their shoes or slippers, we'll say, hey, behave yourself, don't act like a beggar. ये जंगली की तरह मतलब क्या नंगे पाँव जूते पहन लो. But it's not. You have to connect with Mother Earth. So do take off your shoes, walk a bit barefoot in the house or on the grass, go to the beach, go for a ride. You need those fresh air. Stop sitting in that AC and under the fans 24/7. These are all unhealthy things. Yes, I know the heat is a lot and it's good. Also, I advise you, if you could, I know it's difficult to go to the beaches, right? In Pakistan, if most of my audience is from there, or any country, get some sand home, put it in a bucket. Whether it's not only for the children, it's even for the adults, okay? Mothers, fathers, just do it. While watching TV, put your feet in that sand, wriggle your toes. That will help. Another thing is that a way of also improving your serotonin and dopamine level is stop being serious 24/7 as if you are on somebody's funeral. किसी के जनाजे पे आप नहीं हो 24 घंटे के. You have to be so serious like somebody is dead. Okay, wake up, smile. God has given you a beautiful smile, so you need to smile at all times. And the beauty right now, women, you don't have any problem in certain countries that the men might think that you are in love with them because you're smiling. You have the mask, so behind the mask you smile. And I'll give you another way. You have a pen in the house, okay? Put the pen in your mouth this way and push it back, hold it for 4 minutes, right? Because what happens in this, your cheeks are going up, and this helps to increase the level of happiness in your mind, which is triggered by serotonin and dopamine. Also, in the morning, have hearty laughs, even if it is artificial. Laugh. There's just for something, only tell you, inform your family that you're not losing your mind, otherwise they might send you to the mental hospital. Okay, just laugh loudly, ha 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 ha. Just do that, because all these things have an effect on your brain. So laugh on a daily basis. If you can't smile on your own, you please use the pen. Also, people, when you're working, I know that you can't be smiling in the office. Now, if Dr. Sanjay is seeing a patient, if he's smiling, they'll wonder whether everything's okay in his top story, right? Or you're working or you're studying. But I tell you, you could do it. Even women, you all are sometimes exhausted when you're washing the clothes or you're ironing or anything, but try to smile. When your boss or your partner comes in, you can be serious and answer. Once they've gone behind their back, smile. Do these artificial smile, because when you smile, you are created to be happy, to be really smile in life. Encourage your children also with this therapy, because this will truly help you, at least naturally, to improve your levels. And go out, have a run in the park or anywhere, and don't live on unnatural sources. Yes, pictures are very good to have, flower pictures in the house and flower vases, but God has gifted you with beautiful flowers, right? Get out of your house and move yourselves. You will stay also healthy. And you know one wonderful thing about doing this? We all want to stay young. And I will tell you something. This is something that Dr. Sanjay will never tell you, okay? But this is a secret, guys. You know why this man looks so young? You ever just tell me which day have you ever seen him serious? He's always smiling. Actually, after this call, I plan to ask Dr. Sanjay for his birth certificate, because he looks like, a 14, 15-year-old kid. He's so happy, so full of life. What is the reason? And then you'll want to use anti-aging and antidepressants? Be like Dr. Sanjay, forever young, never old, and enjoy life, because life is beautiful. And always tell everyone that they are beautiful, they are loved, they are needed, and they are wanting. Even if your partners have become the map of Pakistan, India, New Zealand, Canada, USA after getting married and giving kids, that's okay. Still, they should be beautiful. And I would say Dr. Sanjay is handsome, the most wanted person in the world, the best doctor I have ever seen. How much is it costing me to just tell him that? And he is getting so happy about it. And you know how he keeps praising me. So just praise people, tell them they're beautiful. They've got the quality. I love your eyes. I love your hair. Tell your partners, tell your children that, and create a wanted and loving feeling in every human being. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You explained brilliantly, amazingly. Thank you so much. Viewers, one of the most common cause and the warning sign of suicide in teenage is a mental health illness. The most common of them is a depression. And as you all know, the depression is due to the decreased level of serotonin. And the just Daphne ma'am explain us that how we increase our serotonin level. Once we increase our happy hormone, we regulate our happy hormone, our depression go away, and the tendency of suicide is automatically decreased. The way document explain the point that we have to do walk, we have to walk on the beach, we have to walk on the green grass, and we have to always remain happy when we get up early in the morning. We have to laugh loudly, and she also shared us the pain exercise of a pain, that how it works to increase our serotonin level and make our face happy, and triggers the serotonin triggers the brain to release the serotonin hormone, regulate it, the happy hormones. So thank you so much, ma'am, for adding this and sharing about this, and making this session more productive and more valuable. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're most
Whenever you
welcome.
came, you are such a woman with a brave woman with knowledge, with wisdom, and always enlightening with your knowledge, wisdom, and lighting us, sharing your wisdom always. So thank you so much, ma'am, once again. Now I'm going to end this show. Before this, I request one final message from you. What is your final word of the day? Final word of wisdom.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay, again. My final word would be that life is beautiful. There is a place for every single human being. If you have been sent into this world, know that there is a place for you. And people need you, they want you, and they love you. Stop competitions. You can never be like anybody, and that's why, this book of mine says don't judge a book by its cover, because many times people look at the exterior. Like right now, even I, if you all have seen my Facebook, where I've been the nominee for the Asian International Awards, and also I have won the uh, Strong Woman Leadership and Mentor Coach Award. Also, there are two awards that I've got. So in that, I would say when people look, they might think it all came overnight or things come easy, right? You do not know what is inside that person and how they have done it. So it's important that we really take a sneak peek into people and understand it. Do not look at that person. I'm sure even Dr. Sanjay, he's a doctor. It has not come on a bed of roses to him. He has struggled. Maybe it's his own choice, maybe it was whatever it was, right? So when we compare, because oh, Dr. Sanjay is a doctor, I'm not a doctor, I will do it. No two people are the same. Just remember, your hand, all the fingers are different, yet we love a short fat thumb. This small little fellow, he's so thin, and we like this guy who's more taller and shorter, right? Sari ungliyan barabar nahi hoti hai. So when, but still it makes your beautiful hand, and you love your hands very much. And duaon mein we lift up our hands. Why? Because is acceptable to the good Lord. So accept every human being, irregardless of caste, creed, race, color. Stop comparison. Stop being somebody that you are not, whether it's in your color, whether it's in your education. I will tell you the secret of my success is I listen to everybody. I learn. I like to have role models. One of my greatest role model is Dr. Sanjay. I must really say hats off to him. But I do remind myself I can never be Dr. Sanjay. There's only one Dr. Sanjay in this beautiful world. I can be like him, I could copy him, but I cannot be him. Let him live his life. The problem is that you try to be somebody else. Like I said, I cannot be Dr. Sanjay, neither can you be me. Just be yourself, love yourself, and appreciate yourself. And one more thing, Before expecting the world to appreciate you, start besides the exercises I gave you. Look, today I'm giving you homework. Good points about yourself. And remind yourself every day, whether you say, "Oh, my hair is beautiful, I love the black." Say it with your name. Maybe Dr. Sanjay says, "Sanjay, your hair is beautiful. Sanjay, you look so nice. Sanjay, I love your glasses. Sanjay, you are handsome. Sanjay, you are talented." 5 things can affirm yourself. It will help you because love starts from you and then it flows outside from within you. That is true love and true success. Begin to love yourself. And as we are with the wave of kindness, you cannot give kindness to anyone if you are not kind to yourself. Experience that and let the beautiful waves of kindness flow on to you. I give this over to you all to share that wave of kindness to yourself and to the world around. The world is beautiful. Live it and love your life. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, very beautiful message. Thank you so much. Before people love you, before people appreciate you, start loving yourself, start appreciating yourself. Write down 5 good points of yourself, and daily in the morning when you got up, read these 5 points and appreciate yourself and start your day. Thank you so much, ma'am. What a lovely suggestion. And with this beautiful message, we are ending this show. Stay happy, spread happiness, love yourself, appreciate yourself. Thank you so much.
Big
Bye
hug.
bye.
Hug yourself. Thank you.
Hug yourself. Keep smiling. Love you. Love you all.
Allah Hafiz.